Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to Madam. I will start this presentation with explaining further about our introduction, which consists of three parts. They are the background, problem statements, and objectives. First and foremost, the background. Costa Rica is one of a country in Central America. It is regarded as having the most stable and democratic government among Central American countries, and several non-governmental organizations had their headquarters in San Jose, which is Costa Rica's capital city, due to the country's reputation and commitment to human rights. Costa Rica, located bordered to the north by Nicaragua, the Caribbean Sea to the northeast, Panama to the southeast, the Pacific Ocean to the southwest, and Ecuador to the south of Cocos Island. Moving on for our problem statement. Drug trafficking can be defined as a global illicit trade involving cultivation, manufacture, distribution, and selling drugs that prohibit the law. The Caribbean drug phenomenon has driven trades and challenges, whereas Costa Rica has long been regarded as a haven of security in crime at Central America. Local criminal gangs are becoming highly advanced, resorting to lethal violence to maintain control, and this represents a big threat to national security in Costa Rica to combat these issues. The objectives in our case study are to investigate the relationship between maritime area and drug trafficking activity in Costa Rica, and to investigate the challenges to counter drug trafficking activity in Costa Rica. As for the addition facts about Costa Rica, there are two mountain chains the entire Costa Rica, which are the Cordillera de Talamanca and the Cordillera Volcanica. That's all for me. I will now pass this presentation to my team member, Nur Izzati Najwa. Thank you.
Next is the analysis of the issue. In this analysis, I will discuss 3 points. The first one is drug traffickers and criminal actors. Limon is the most important port in Costa Rica for drug activities, where a significant group of drug traffickers carry out the activities. In fact, they provide not just drugs but also services like contract murdering, which amount around $80 per person. Also, there are many of reputed persons with legitimate companies hiding behind this gang and bribing the authorities at all levels. For example, Kiba Bell, also known as a Marco Coca. But, strangely, Bell had not been charged with offences relating to drug trafficking, although he had already been detained and kept in preventive custody. The second point is the modus operandi that they use. Criminal actors control properties along the watercourses where motorboats arrive packed with marijuana or cocaine. The traffickers that carry bigger amount of cocaine from Costa Rica's Pacific and Atlantic coast, they use fast shipping boat from Colombia seaport and medium-sized ship which is around 40 feet or less, and fishing craft for shortened voyage. Meanwhile, the Gulf of Punta Arenas and the Pacific coast of Puerto Quiopos serve as fuel stop for Colombian and Panamanian cargoes. The third point is the drug supplies. They obtain cocaine supplies along the Atlantic and Pacific coast. They keep in the warehouse or farmland to let the supplies cool, and afterward ship them through the port of Limon. Not only that, they also import large quantities of marijuana from Jamaica and Colombia. Next, I will pass this presentation to Nur Shazahanis.
Thank you, Najwa. My name is Shaza, and I'll proceed to application of the IR concept. So, the sea are the main preset for international commerce and communication. Hence, there are drug smugglers that use the sea to transport their drugs. Therefore, countries that have large maritime territories and sovereignty tend to face critical drugs problem. Costa Rica is situated in between Caribbean Sea and Pacific Ocean, which make Costa Rica vulnerable to drug trafficking and transit. Under the United Nations Convention of Law of the Sea, there are 4 maritime zones that states can claim as their territory. Consequently, the sovereignty of Costa Rica water is undoubtedly large. Costa Rica is also exposed to long coastline on both sides of its coastline, the Caribbean side and also the Pacific side. So Costa Rica, Caribbean Sea, and Pacific Ocean territory are 212 km and 1,252 km respectively. In addition, Costa Rica's strategic location and connected between South America and North America is also the reason behind the increasing drug smuggling problem in Costa Rica. Drug smugglers are using Costa Rica as their warehouse to store their drugs. Moreover, Cocos Island, located 532 km away from Costa Rica mainland, is also vulnerable to become drug smuggling port. The third issue. Drugs activities by Costa Rica's neighbor also encourage the increase of drug trafficking activities in Costa Rica water. For instance, Panama is a neighboring country to Costa Rica, and Panama is also a host to a primary choke point in Central America called the Panama Canal. Choke points are essential need to world economy as it serves a pathway for ships. However, drug smugglers are taking this as an advantage to transport their drugs through by using the Panama Canal. This is a map of Costa Rica EEZ Pacific territory. Costa Rica EEZ expands up to 729 kilometers from its North Pacific coastline. As you can see, the Cocos Island is also under the Costa Rica EEZ territory. That's all for me. Thank you. I will now pass the floor to Hyacinthia.
Next, I will explain about the challenges of drug trafficking in Costa Rica country, which is the flow of cocaine from South America to the United States has affected the region for over 40 years, but recent changes in the global market have changed the role some countries play. The countries that had previously been used as refueling stops have become storage and logistics centers for the transnational trafficking groups. Next, between 2010 and 2014, Costa Rica had about 1,957 officers to its national police force, but however, the number of police has fallen since then, and additional officers are needed in every police service. Also, the President Luis Guillermo Solis claimed that the Costa Rican government had lost about 112 million to corruption since 1999. But however, there also the solution, which is the United States support the Costa Rican efforts to prosecute the crimes more effectively. Also, the bilateral efforts between U.S. and Costa Rica to improve border security focus on enhancing the Costa Rica maritime interdiction capabilities. And last one, the multilateral cooperation between the Caribbean countries. So these are the Caribbean countries that need to enhance their cooperation to combat drugs.
In conclusion, situated on Central American Isthmus, Costa Rica imparts a 309 km northern boundary to Nicaragua and a 330 km southeastern line with Panama, going about as a connection and change zone for cocaine shipment among those countries. The most important port in Costa Rica, Limon, is well positioned for drug operation. In order to combat with the rapid expansion for drug flow presently infiltrating its territory and the related crime, Costa Rica must sustain its anticipated mid-term expansion in its security sector.